civilizationoflight.com, Tuesday, January 13, 2009, Structures Part I. During 2008 it was my privilege to receive, transcribe, and publish messages from certain of our brothers and sisters from other star systems, and other distinguished sources. These messages are available in the archives of this site. They are filled with hope, love, and reverence for that which is uniquely Earth, and uniquely Earth human. I would encourage everyone to pay close attention to these messages as we are entering unchartered territory. Nothing like our current transition has ever happened to the humans of Earth during our long history on this planet. This is my fourth posting to Mark's Corner for 2009. Today we welcome back Bren-Ton of Andromeda aboard the starship at Bren-Ton. He has been an observer of our planet for a very long time. In most respects, the human condition today is not as good as it was when humans first arrived on this planet. In those early days, hundreds of thousands of years ago, humans knew from which star systems they came, knew that they were related to each other, and knew that they needed to cooperate in order to prosper. They did not see the black, red, yellow, and white races as so different. They looked upon each other with curiosity and accepted one another for their strengths and weaknesses. There was peace upon the land, and a gentle cooperation with Earth as their host and provider. You have been told that these ancient people were primitive, but in reality they had all that they needed to live fulfilling lives, nurture their families, build a society of mutual respect, and progress their civilization. Then all peoples of your world were invaded by the dark energy. None escaped its reach when it enveloped your planet, throwing Earth's human residents into primitive conditions. Fear overwhelmed cooperation, acceptance, and awareness. All were plunged into darkness so pervasive that over the millennia only a few emerged to trumpet the light of the Creator. It is not hard to imagine how primitive societies, overwhelmed with fear, descended into superstitions and rituals. They built physical and belief structures based on the principle that they were somehow fundamentally flawed, and that powerful men and the gods, who knew what was best for them, should control them. This was a setup to allow agents of the dark energy to penetrate these societies and institute fear-based practices. Is there much difference between a primitive society living close to the land, but deeply flawed by superstition, or a technologically evolved society with its elaborate structures controlled by the wealthy and powerful? Each structure minimizes the worth of the individual. The dark energy made fundamental changes in the humans of long ago. Your ancestors' DNA was altered. Fear replaced light. Structures of control were imposed on everyone. Competition and differences were introduced. Fear became the basis for daily living. From time to time the light of the Creator asserted itself. People would begin to see that all was not hopeless. Individual human initiative would operate outside the mainstream. People would wander off to create alternative societies. However, as soon as these initiatives achieved some measure of success, they were once again brought under control of the agents of the dark energy. Since the invasion of the dark energy, there have been isolated instances of progress in human relations. Many Earth humans have turned from war to live side by side in peace. These are triumphs of the light of the Creator in the hearts of individuals and communities. They are the hope upon which our assistance to your world is based. It is these examples of the triumph of the light over the dark energy is what has encouraged us to assemble our armada of starships, caused a billion of your brothers and sisters to assemble in order to create a level playing field. It is these examples of the light that have brought us here, that make us believe that with our help you can throw off the fear infused in you by the dark energy and create a new civilization. As anyone might observe, your tentative reprieves from conflict are not without their problems. The vestiges of the dark energy are still strong in every human, and their agents still control your structures. There is a lack of trust, hollowness in relationships, and constrictions on new ways of being. There is not a wholehearted acceptance of each other as brothers and sisters. Life is fragile due to the lingering effects of the dark energy. From my vantage point, aboard the starship at the Bren-Ton, I observe that the structures, which have been imposed upon the humans of Earth, are the means of the continued control over you. Structures are utilized in other civilizations, but on Earth they have been contorted to become control mechanisms. These structures, found in every aspect of your lives, are both physical and of beliefs. We will look at them one at a time in the coming days. Let us first examine the structures of the many giant corporations that have evolved over the past 100 years or so. These corporations were first initiated around shipping, railroads, and manufacturing. They were a mechanism to collect money and initiate controls for a particular purpose. Corporations marshaled the forces of labor and materials, combining them with capital, to ship materials from distant lands, to build the railroads, or to produce steel. From the outset, these corporations were set up to make a profit for those who originated them and those who invested in them. Soon making a profit eclipsed the objective of running the Great Railroad or making good steel. The greed of the originators and investors became more important than the objective of the corporation. Following on this distortion, ordinary people who worked for the corporation were squeezed to maximize its profits. Suppliers were squeezed to maximize profits. They in turn squeezed their people. Yes, a certain amount of money needs to be generated for reinvestment in the business. But the whole concept of using an artificial structure to enhance the power and wealth of a few over the needs and wants of the many is the root cause of the problems of a corporation. The modern corporation utilizes this same structure. Profits for those who supply money are paramount. All else is squeezed to make this happen. The working environment of the laborers, as well as their salaries, is minimized. The salaries of those at the top are exaggerated. They're important to the corporation, justifying their vastly higher compensation versus the people who produce the actual goods and services. We will continue with this discussion in the near future. Thank you, Bren-Ton. I look forward to more communications from you on the subject of structures. We eagerly await events surrounding your arrival on our planet, less so matters associated with the chaos. In truth, love and joy. Mark.